Can you hear me?
Hi, and welcome to my channel tonight. We've got several things that we're going to be doing here. First and foremost, we're going to be joined by Kasandra tonight. She is going to be talking to us about adjusting from going from a community college to a university and what that might look like and that kind of adjustment. Also going to be telling us about her artwork and what drew her to her major. So let me get a couple of tabs open right quick so we can jump on into this. And then after we talk to Kasandra this evening, we have got some fabulous news that you guys are going to be so excited about. So let me get some things going on kind of behind the scenes stuff. Those little picky details that you always have to do. Okay. And I think Kasandra's already here with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hi, Kasandra.
Hi. How are you guys today?
Good. Yeah. Now, is this your first ever interview like this?
Over a YouTube stream, yes.
Okay. Wow. Well, you're a brave soul.
Well, I'm in your hands, so I hope I'm sure it's going to be okay.
Yeah. I think you're going to do great. I see you on there running some back stuff now. And let me make sure it's all going to be. See, do we have anybody in the chat yet? Okay, well, I can't get my chat to load, so we'll find out in a minute. So, if I do have someone in the chat, then welcome. I can't see you right now, so we'll get into that in just a minute. We are live. Everything's a go. So, here we are. Yes, we do have people in the chat, Kasandra.
Yay!
We have Happy Trails Hiking, and we have Spider-Man the Hero. Hi, everybody. Welcome tonight. So we've got some big news. I am so excited. But first, we're going to talk to Kasandra, and she's going to get to tell us about a little bit more about life as a university student, and we can go on from there. And Spider-Man the Hero says she needs new glasses. Okay. I'll take your opinion on that. So Kasandra, welcome.
Thank you. And sorry for the background noise.
It's okay. You know, hey, I mean, things happen. We just kind of work with it and go through. You know, you can't control traffic and things like that. So if it gets really loud, though, at some point I may ask you to, you know, repeat something, but you're fine. Okay. So are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. It suddenly got really, really quiet behind you, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm lagging any, but you're lagging just a little bit. So I don't know if it's from my end or your end.
Okay. What you have to do is you have to go by our conversation. There will be a little bit of lag time between what you see if you're looking on the screen through the channel versus our communication. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So this is Kasandra's first live stream. And Kasandra, we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
So why don't you go ahead and just dive right in and tell us about what it's like adjusting from being in a community college to going to a university and moving away from home and all that stuff. Tell us about you.
Okay, so starting for the basics. So moving away, And, I'm only 2 hours away, but still not having, anyone nearby, mentally, that kind of puts a little bit of a strain, just because you can't just go over to your mom and dad's house because it's 2 hours away or 3 hours away. So that's kind of hard. And where I have a 6-year-old brother who just turned 6, I can't see him every day like I used to. And that's a little hard, along with not seeing my goddaughter as often as I would like. So with that, I still have Shane with me, and that's my boyfriend of 8 years now. So he's here with me. So it's not a total I'm here by myself, but it still feels like it sometimes when he's at work. Now, adjusting from the community college life in Knoxville versus the university life here in Chattanooga.
Hold on just a second. We've had somebody come into the chat room. I just want to say, give a shout out to Hi down in the rabbit hole. Welcome. So okay, Kasandra, you're in the hot seat again. So you have made the adjustment to go from one city to another.
Yes.
You're out on your own. Your family is a few hours away. And you've got your feller, who I don't see back there, but tell him we said hello.
Oh. They want you to say hi.
He doesn't have to. I'm just. But so now.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Now there is a ambulance, I think, so I'm gonna mute my mic for a second.
Okay. Okay, so she's got her microphone muted. I could give you a little bit of background here. We actually met at the community college where I attend, and the community college is so much different than the university. The college is a very nurturing atmosphere. So you're on your own, but not so much so. And the classes are small. And the best thing for me, like ever, is that the campus is it can fit on a postage stamp. Not quite, but really close compared to the university. Or what do you think, Kasandra?
Yeah, I think that, the community college is a lot more intimate than a university campus.
That's a good term. Yeah, I'll agree.
At Pellissippi, they'll hold your hand no matter what year you're in and walk you through the steps that you need without question. Whereas at the university, I've come to sadly understand is they don't walk you through everything, so you have to go explore everything by yourself. And there are some helping hands sometimes, but most of it is on your own. You have to learn how to do it by yourself. Ask students. It's very communicative you have to. You'll get lost very easy. They update stuff all the time, so you have to stay.
Google Maps.
You have to stay on it. It's a struggle sometimes.
Yes, Google Maps. Google Maps. Google Maps. Google Maps. Remember that. It's like Google Maps 101. Google Maps is your friend.
Yeah. Now,
except when it's not.
Now with the UTC, University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, the campus isn't as big as the UTK campus, University of Tennessee at Knoxville. So right now the school, to my understanding, is going through growing pains. So right now, all of the University of Tennessee and Knoxville students are moving to UTC, and it is causing a struggle because there's not enough seats and there's not enough teachers. And so it's kind of harder to get into the core classes that you need to finish your degree.
Gotcha.
And that's been a little bit of a struggle versus at a community college where, they offer various times for the classes that you need, that a lot of students need.
Oh, wait. Sorry, Kasandra. Okay. Didn't mean to do that to you. You can guess who's in here.
Yeah. Hi, Tomlin.
He's like all about this computer screen. Sorry.
That's okay. But you know, the Hardin Valley campus at Pellissippi State, where it is not super intimate as the other campuses, but more almost like a college. You know, they have multiple buildings and everything.
And they have multiple campuses too in different cities.
Yeah, and where UTC, they have multiple buildings that you can go to. So going to the Pellissippi, the main campus, has helped me a lot to adjusting to multiple buildings and learning the floors and all that stuff. So
yeah, it's hugely different. I mean, you think about going to a community college, and you think about that as certainly being a precursor and a stepping stone because it's less expensive. So why spend big bucks on classes if you don't have to? Although certainly community college is still expensive. What have you found about the cost?
Well, right now, when I was going to Pellissippi, my federal aid would pay for all of my classes plus a little bit more the whole time I've been there. Going to a university, they pay for a majority of it, but I'm still having to pay out of pocket for a sum of my tuition and for books. So that alone is a lot more. And if you live on campus, you know, you have to pay for food and all that stuff. So
yeah,
there's a big price difference.
Of course, you're going to be paying for food anyway, whether you're on campus or off.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now, there was one thing. I think we're really fortunate to live in Tennessee. Tennessee, for those of you guys who are watching, is actually doing this big push to get as many people as possible to go to college, specifically to a community college. So they have several different things that they've done to make that possible. For adults, they've got Tennessee Reconnect. They've got a Hope Scholarship, lottery money, and other financial aid that they can throw at you for community college that doesn't quite translate to university. And that's what I'm hearing from you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I've just been able to get back into the chat situation. Guys, sometimes the chat room is loading and sometimes it's not. So Amber, let me see who we've got here. We've got Happy Trails Hiking, Down the Rabbit Hole, Spider-Man the Hero is here. Amber and John Homestead Projects is here. And Amber and John, you just hit your milestone. You're over 2,000 people. That is awesome. So I'm very glad for you. So that's Kasandra. You're not a YouTuber yet, but if you ever get there, 2,000 is like a huge, huge deal. So congratulations, Amber and John. So, yeah. And Amber's an awesome person too. We got to meet for lunch a couple of times. So hopefully if it works out, maybe, you know, you guys can meet up too sometime.
I would love that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you're finding out that the expenses are higher and the tuition is higher. And how's parking? Is that at least good?
You know, I've been very fortunate to where I live close enough to where I can ride the buses. You know, the university has offered free bus transportation to all UTC students here, which is very, very grateful. There's a bus right down my street, so that's great. Now, if you do happen to pay for parking, you know, they overdo the parking spots, so there's not always a parking space for, even though you've paid for it. Even it doesn't matter if you did the basic parking to the high-end parking, you're not guaranteed a parking spot. Now, if you do have classes later in the evening, parking is free, so you can park anywhere you want.
Okay. So you're talking about street parking there around the campus?
Yeah. Well, street parking and parking lots, you have to have a pass. and so you have to pay
Right.
a certain amount for the pass. But when after I think it's 6, you don't have to pay for parking anymore, so you can just park anywhere you need to for the night campus. So
Yeah, that was something that was really different at the community college. We didn't have to worry about paying for parking and the hassle of getting a pass or anything like that. All we had to do was worry about paying the occasional traffic ticket. Maybe I should not have mentioned the tickets. That was not fun.
I've been very fortunate not to. However, traffic on the interstate going into school in the morning or getting off in the afternoon was not fun. So,
Okay. Well, I was talking about those pesky little campus traffic tickets,
yes.
which should not be a thing. Okay, so you are an art major. Tell me what drew you into art.
So I've actually been into art ever since I was little. It's just kind of adapted as I've gone through school and as I've gotten art schooling. Um, it's my major is graphic design, and I just kind of stumbled into the graphic part of it. I want to say my high school year. I actually originally wanted to do printmaking, but they no longer offered that at my school, and I found a new love with graphic design, and which has turned out to be a little bit more profitable than printmaking nowadays, because a lot of people were referring back to the technology of having it instant versus having to wait a process.
Right. Okay. We were talking about your artwork and you've got it on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to attempt to screen share and pull up your Instagram. This is only an attempt. I'm tossing that disclaimer out. So let's see how this goes. Okay, there we go. There's one of your pieces.
And right now, if you are in the Chattanooga area, most of these pieces that I've got on here are in a local coffee shop that is showing my artwork upstairs and downstairs for the whole month of August. So feel free to stop by, whether you're willing to buy or not. And my jewelry is in a shop downstairs where I work, and he allows me to sell my jewelry there for free. So that helps me out a lot to get both my jewelry and my fine art out.
Great. Oh, you've got your hair pieces going. Those are so cute. So, yeah.
And so I do a variety of artwork. So I do painting, jewelry, hair pieces. I like to draw a lot. Then the graphic part of it. It's just something that comes to me naturally. I don't really have to think a whole lot on it. However, I do occasionally get frustrated with a piece and put it down for a couple of months, but it always tends to come back to me and it ends up getting finished. So
awesome. So if they're interested in your pieces, they can contact you through Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yes.
Okay.
You can contact me through Instagram, Facebook, which is it should be hooked up to my Instagram. I'm still a baby at it. I'm learning. I just opened that Instagram when I got into Chattanooga, so that's why there's not a whole lot of stuff on there right now. But I'm getting better at organizing that website. So
okay, but you have some of your stuff up there. Now, real quick before you go, and before I get into some of the channel changes, I have some lightning round questions for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
These are hard. Okay. Fruit Loops or Lucky Charms?
Fruit Loops for sure.
Okay. Pistachio or orange sherbet?
Oh.
Come on, Kasandra.
Originally, it would be orange sherbet, but since we went to that when we were in New Mexico with your daughter and we got to go to the farm where they had
The pistachio farm, right?
yeah, pistachio ice cream. I guess I would choose fresh pistachio ice cream.
Okay, there you go. And now one more really big, super important question. Okay. UT Falls or Alabama?
Oh God, UT.
You have to say that. You live in Knoxville, right?
That's I'm from Tennessee, so but that doesn't mean that I like football, but I'm not like a hardcore at it every day. But you have to support where you're from, so
That's true. That's true.
as long as it
There
helps
you
the
go.
boys out mentally, they'll be able to charge on to whatever happens.
Right. Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to add before you go and I get into the channel changes?
Going from a community college to a university can be a little scary, but I greatly encourage it. And I also greatly encourage that, moving away from your family is hard sometimes, but it really does help you break away and become your own person.
Okay. So don't be afraid of it. Just go.
Yeah, just do it, and you know what's right for you. And if you just happen to stumble, mass majority of the time, your family will be able to help you out if you fall too hard. So
That's awesome. Well, Kasandra, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for inviting
and for being on the live stream. When you disconnect, it'll go back to regular. So
Okay. Well, I guess I'll talk to you guys later, and thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Well, that was Kasandra who joined us to talk about college and university life and do the comparison there. Now, I've got some great news about this channel, and I'm so excited because I'm doing some really, really big changes here. What I'm going to do is we're not going to continue with overcoming obstacles on Sunday nights. I know this has been important to you. So important that what we're doing is we're actually splitting it. And overcoming obstacles is now available at youtube.com/overcoming the obstacles. So we have got that started. And we're going to start doing some live streams and interviews. And on Sunday nights, we're just going to be hanging out and having fun and, having just a grand old time talking. So we're not going to have necessarily a specific topic on Sunday nights, but it's going to be, we're going to put the topic over on the overcoming the obstacles on that other channel. So I really am excited. I hope you guys are too. As part of this, we have got a new snazzy logo. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to be introducing that, hitting some products into our Zazzle store, which is so cool. And we're going to talk about more about bodacious broads, because overcoming the obstacles is a channel that's all about talking about whatever kind of obstacle that we're going through. And as part of that, it's the whole live bodaciously concept. We talked about it some here about what does it mean to live bodaciously. And that means just to grab life and go for it and have fun. So our new graphic is be bodacious. It's got a fancy little sassy hat on it. Cute, cute, cute. You guys are just going to love it. All the feedback has been great. So that's the channel change. But we're still going to be here on Sunday nights, except it's going to be no topics. We're just going to be just us hanging out, talking about whatever we want to. So, yeah. So I hope you guys are excited about that as I am. So that is youtube.com/overcoming the obstacles. And our regular Sunday night regular channel is the Gayle Crabtree's channel at youtube.com/Gayle Crabtree. So I want to thank you guys all for hanging out tonight, for being here in the chat, and for hearing the great news about the channel. And thank you all for tuning in. And we are going to see you out and about and online. Bye.